Chapter 12. My Lord Dictates a Letter and Receives a Visitor, Part 1, of Black Moth by Georgette Heyer. Read for LibriVox.org into the public domain. My lord came sighing back to life. He opened his eyes wearily, and turned his head. A faint feeling of surprise stole over him. He was in a room he had never been in before, and by the window, busy with some needlework, sat a little old lady who was somehow vaguely familiar. "Who are you?" he asked, and was annoyed to find his voice so weak. The little lady jumped and came across to him. "Praise be to God!" she ejaculated. "Likewise bless the boy. The fever is past." She laid a thin hand on his brow and smiled down into his wondering eyes. "As cool as a cucumber, dear boy. What a mercy!" It was a long time since any one had called Jack dear or boy. He returned the smile feebly and closed his eyes. "I do not understand anything," he murmured drowsily. "Never trouble your head, then. Just go to sleep." He considered this gravely for a moment. It seemed sensible enough, and he was so very, very tired. He shut his eyes with a little sigh. When he awoke again it was morning of the next day, and the sun streamed in the window, making him blink. Some one rustled forward, and he saw it was the lady who had called him dear and bidden him to go to sleep. He smiled, and a very thin hand came out of the bedclothes. "But who are you?" he demanded a little querulously. Miss Betty patted his hand gently. "Still worrying your poor head over that? I'm Di's Aunt Betty. Though to be sure you don't know who Di is." Remembrance was coming back to my lord. Why, you are the lady in the coach. Tracy, I remember." "Well, I know nought of Tracy, but I'm the lady in the coach." "And the other?" "That was Diana Bolee, my niece, the pet. You will see her when you are better." But where am I, madam?" "Now don't get excited, dear boy." "I'm 30," protested Jack with a wicked twinkle. "I should not have thought it, but 30's a boy to me in any case," retorted Miss Betty, making him laugh. "You are in Mr. Bolee's house, Di's father and my brother, and I hope you will stay until you are quite recovered." Jack raised himself on his elbow, grimacing at the pain the movement caused him. "Egad, madam, have I been here long?" he demanded. Very firmly was he pushed back on to his pillows. "Will you be still? A nice thing 'twould be if you were to aggravate that wound of yours. You will have been here a week to-morrow. Bless my heart, what ails the boy?" For Jack's face took on an expression of incredulous horror. "A week, madam! Never say so." "'Tis true as I stand here. And a nice fright you have given us, what with nearly dying and raving about your Dicks and your Jims." My lord glanced up sharply. "Oh, so I talked?" "Talk? Well, yes, if you can call all that mixture of foreign jargon talking. Now you must be still, and wait till the doctor comes again." For a while Carstairs lay in silence. He thought of Jim and smiled a little. "I could not have thought of a better punishment had I tried," he told himself, and then frowned. "Poor fellow! He'll be off his head with fright over me. Betty?" "Well, and you are not asleep yet?" "Asleep, madam, certainly not," he said with dignity. "I must write a letter." "'Deed, and you shall not." "But I must. 'Tis monstrous important, madam." She shook her head resolutely. "Not until Mr. Jameson gives permission," she said firmly. Jack struggled up, biting his lip. "Then I shall get up," he threatened. In an instant she was by his side. "No, no! Now lie down and be good." "I will not lie down and be good." "Then I shan't let you touch a pen for weeks." Jack became very masterful and frowned direfully upon her. "Madam, I insist on being allowed to write that letter." "Sir, I insist on your lying down." He controlled a twitching lip. "Woe betide you unless you bring me a pen and paper, Miss Betty." "But, dear boy, reflect. You could not use your arm." "I will use it," replied Jack indomitably, but he sank back onto the pillows with his eyes closed and a tiny furrow of pain between his straight brows. "I told you so," scolded Miss Betty, not without a note of triumph in her voice, and proceeded to rearrange the disorderly coverlet. The blue eyes opened wide, pleadingly. "Madam, indeed, 'tis very important." She could not withstand that look. "Well," she compromised, "I'll not let you write yourself, that's certain, but could you not dictate to me?" Jack brightened, and caught her hand to his lips. "Miss Betty, you are an angel," he told her. "Ah, now, get along with you." She hurried away to fetch paper and ink. When she returned she found him plucking impatiently at the sheet, and frowning. "I am ready," she said. "Thank you, madam. 'Tis very kind in you." "Nonsense!" He laughed weakly. "I want you to write to my servant to bid him bring my baggage to the nearest inn." "That I will not. I shall tell him to bring it here." "But, Miss Betty, I cannot possibly trespass on—" "Will you have done? Trespass, indeed!" "I perceive I shall be much put upon," sighed Jack, and watched her lightning smile. "You boy! Will you dictate?" "Very well, ma'am. No, I have changed my mind. I'll have it writ to a friend, please. Dear Miles, true to my promise, I write to you, in case you should be worried over my disappearance. Be it known that I am at— Pray, madam, where am I?" "Horton Manor, Little Dean," she replied, writing it down. "Thank you. I had the misfortune to injure my shoulder in a—" "And arm," put in the scribe inexorably. "And arm, in a fight with a certain very kind lady. I refuse to write that rubbish. One of the ladies whom I rescued—" "Good heavens, madam, you've not put in that?" cried Jack, horrified. She smiled reassuringly. "I have not. I have put, 'My nurse is writing this for me.'" "Madam, you are of a teasing disposition," reproved my lord. Yes. When you take Jenny over to Trencham, will you please tell Jim to bring my baggage here at once? Have you that, Miss Betty?" "Yes." "Remember me to Lady Molly, I beg, and accept my apologies and thanks." He paused. "Will you sign it J.C., please, and address it to Sir Miles O'Hara, Thur's House, Maltby?" "Sir Miles O'Hara! Is he your friend, Mr. I do not know your name." "Carr," began Jack, and stopped, biting his lip. "Carr," he continued imperturbably. "John Carr. Do you know O'Hara, Miss Betty?" "Me? No. Will he come to see you, do you think?" "If you let him in, madam." "Gracious! Well, well. I'll tell Thomas to ride over with this at once." "Miss Betty, you are marvellously good. I vow I can never thank—" "Bless the boy! And what about yourself, pray? I shudder to think of what might have happened to Di, if you had not come up. 'Tis we who can never thank you enough." Jack reddened boyishly and uncomfortably. "Indeed, you exaggerate." "Tut, tut. Well, go to sleep, and never worry about anything till I return. And you won't try and get up?" He shook with laughter. "I swear I will not. Even an you never return I will lie here wasting away." But he spoke to space, for with a delighted laugh she had left the room. Chapter 12. Read by Sibylla Denton. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org.